Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brother Love in Haiti. Happy Sundays, everybody. Hope you all had a wonderful day. And today, this is a special live edition. I've been talking to some brother for quite some time now, and I love some of the things that he has on the horizons. And he reached out to me and he was explaining to me some things, and I wanted to share that with my audience because I think it's a great idea, you know. Digital reparations and the new Bitcoin, the black Bitcoin, or should I say. And I want to introduce some of y'all today. Let's start thinking outside the box. Let's see what we could do when we come together. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that support Haiti's Future Academy. Together we've been able to start a movement from ground zero and now excelling it on a STEM education now. And now I think it's very important to start getting in contact and working hand in hand with different people that's out there doing wonderful things in their community, standing for something, being passionate about something. So without any further interruptions, I want to introduce y'all, everybody, to Mr. Randy Hicks. What's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm doing well, in yourself?
I'm doing all right, my brother. I just want you to know, man, it's definitely an honor to have you on this platform. I love whenever I get the chance to present my audience with a very intellectual minded businessman that's trailblazing, so for the
Yeah,
people that's
likewise, man. I appreciate the opportunity myself to be able to connect with someone who's also just as trailblazing and just as powerful as as we're trying to be here. So definitely a good thing to link with powerful people who are doing powerful movements for good causes and good reasons.
okay, so for the people that's watching, please introduce yourself to the audience. Let them know who you are. So
Okay, all right. My name is Randy Ricks. I have a master's degree in biomedical science from Charles University. I got my undergrad from the University of DC in biology, Bachelor of Science in Biology. Currently now I am a research scientist at NIH, and um, I have invested in this endeavor to help end systemic racism. I'm also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. This is an initiative that was launched by two Omega men. Um, that's a little bit of background about myself. I've been from the West Coast to the East Coast. I used to live in Florida. I lived in
that's
DC.
very impressive.
I live in
You said
Orlando and Fort Lauderdale.
you have a bachelor in science and biology and a
Yeah,
master in science.
biomedical science.
Yes. So first of all, congratulations. That I know
Thank
that's a hard task for somebody to experience. So that means the level of knowledge that you have is basically it comes from somewhere, and it comes from um, a lot of research. So for the people that's watching, what is the decentralized bank of BOA me?
Okay, so the Decentralized Bank of Boa-Me is an international banking group with its own cryptocurrency that we have established as BOA. And we have established the value as such based off of the reparations due to the African descendants of slaves, the 400 plus years of oppression and slavery that we've experienced. We believe that there's a value established for that, and it's not in the millions, it's not in the billions, it's in the multi-trillions. And this wealth would do nothing but improve the circumstance of the world. There would be no other way. There would be nothing else that would happen but good things if this wealth was to enter this realm. And at this point in time, it has entered this realm, and we are literally in the process of founding the bank, the Boa-Me Bank, which is a bank international banking group.
Wow, 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 wow. So, so for the people that's watching, what is BOA? What does BOA stand for?
Okay, so the full term is a West African parable, and it stands for Boa Mi Na Mimoama, and it means help me and let me help you. And it basically goes back to the ancient tribal way of living. Whereas if you're contributing to society, then you expect to be taken care of. You expect to have your needs met in meeting the needs of society as a whole. And this is the basic way that nature works. So people now want to make enough money to stop working. And in the current system, it can't establish order that way. Everybody has to be contributed. And this contribution can be in many different ways, many different levels to it. But the current way we're in now is against the natural order and the way things work, as in contributors are taken care of, as in every creature of the earth has a specific purpose. Even the bacteria in the soil has one of the most essential purposes on the earth, which is to break down nitrogen and cause and help the grass grow and everything like that. So we have to look at it as a society of contributors. The boy me, let me help you, help me help you.
Okay, so I want you to basically explain to the people what's happening right now. What are the stages of development and what is the ultimate plan for the BOA group and how can we help each other out just having knowledge of this possibility, and how can we stick hand in hand to make this become an actual currency, a currency that is based on a lot of hardships that we went through, and we see the world advancing, and we believe in digital cryptocurrency, and because that is a currency. So can we have our own something that's not governed, something that's is decentralized?
Right,
So and it's on us to make the value of it,
right,
right?
right. Exactly.
So, mhm.
So to answer your question, there's two phases, well, three phases of this cryptocurrency. The phase that we're in now is the first phase, which is the founding phase, right? And this is where the everyone basically gets distributed the cryptocurrency for the belief in the mind first, able to buy this with the mind first. And after we establish the founders have the job of establishing partnerships. So in the founding phase, the founders establish partnerships with people who believe in the same thing that we do, who can see the value in the same thing that we value, which is to eliminate systemic racism and globally distribute wealth in the acknowledgement of the historical oppression of African descendants of slaves. That's the definition of what BOA stands for. So we're looking to seek partnerships. The founders, Brother Love, he's a founder. We're looking to seek partnerships with people who believe in this. Where I'm at right now, currently, I'm reaching out to historically Black colleges and universities, Black-owned banks, Black-owned businesses, and also other businesses that can believe and concur with the same things that we do. So after the founders establish partnerships, this will create the consumer usability of the cryptocurrency. So at the partnerships that we establish, now the partners should be more receptive or at least have knowledge of this cryptocurrency's existence. So it's the founding phase, the consumer usability phase, and now the bigger picture. This is the bigger picture. This is where we want to be. We want to be, whereas I want to say that the most essential jobs. I don't want to say unskilled job or anything like that, but that's where the mindset would be of somebody who doesn't understand that everybody is a contributor to society. So as far as the bigger picture, we want to create a system where people, even at the most essential jobs, the trash man, the hotel worker, the grocery store clerk, that these people will be able to go to work and have leisurely lives when they leave work that are that suit their needs. Everybody doesn't have the same needs and qualifications for having a good leisure life. Some people might want to have a nice big house and vacation time and luxury cars. These things are possible for every worker to have if the bigger corporations weren't so greedy and keeping billions of dollars and paying their employees cents on the dollar, less than cents, thousandth of a cent of the dollars that they make. So we want to create a society where is every contributor, every person who believes in this cause and is contributing to society has good leisurely lives, and they have the opportunity to build and customize a nice house, or even have at least have shelter, a partnership with a shelter type provider, or a partnership with a place to be able to enjoy your leisurely time when you're not at work doing your essential job. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody gets the same thing, but at least everybody knows that if they're contributing to society, they at least have a base level established of the minimal things that in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, as far as the basic food, shelter, and friendship.
Okay, so what I love about this is the fact that you have a currency, right? You have a
Right,
cryptocurrency.
right.
And was that hard to create?
Um, some parts of it was hard. Okay, so it wasn't hard to create and generate a cryptocurrency. It was hard to upload it to the decentralized exchange market. So basically, for it to be globally available, it was some computer coding that needed to be done, and that's where the second founder and the second partner comes in. Delta Logic computer tech company. They did the computer programming for this specialized file called a TMOL file. That basically is what all the blockchains and wallets are able to read to establish the value for the cryptocurrency. So you could create a cryptocurrency for yourself, but no one else will be able to see it without this computer coded program. So it's not that hard to do, but it definitely takes some computer know-how. If you don't have computer expertise.
And that's very important. I love coding. This is why we are pushing coding in our
Mhm.
school curriculum, getting the kids established with learning how to code at an early age. So we can
Absolutely.
have access to this and have these different opportunities. So it's definitely my pleasure to connect with you, because I love the work that you're doing. You are being innovating and you are reaching out to the right people, making the right connections. Far as reaching out to some of the HBCUs and some of the black-owned banks about you already created the cryptocurrency. Now it's time for it to be acknowledged,
Knowledge. And yes, sir. Yeah, and
and
that's
the
what it
power
really.
lies within us
Right.
to make it acknowledged. Because the more people that have access to this cryptocurrency
Hmm.
is, that's the numbers. We
Hmm.
make it valuable by us accepting this and sharing this,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Basically.
Right. Right. And that's the whole principle of it. The whole principle of it is the decentralized banking system. So to understand what a decentralized banking system is, you first must grasp the concept of what a centralized banking system is and how that operates. So a centralized banking system, they get money from the Federal Reserve or the government that is in control of that country at the time. And they distribute this currency to the banks. And the banks are in control of protecting the currency. And the banks hold the currency in a central location to establish the supply and demand. So all the supply is in the centralized banks, and the demand is from all the people who want it, right? So the opposite is that's how the value of the dollar is established. But the opposite is, which is what I've created and coined. This is one of the first principles like this in existence is a decentralized bank, which means that it starts off centralized. It starts
Mm.
off centralized in similar to the centralized banks, but our objective is to spread it, the knowledge of it and of it, to actually create the value in the supply and demand on an individual level. So
Yes.
more people don't have to necessarily have BOA, but more people need to be aware of BOA for it to actually be
Now,
the value be established.
is it other creators like you that created these cryptocurrencies before, or this is something um that's just first time being
This,
created?
I mean, there's people creating cryptocurrencies and projects all over the world right now. But as far as a a project that is dedicated to the reparations for the historical oppression of African descendants of slaves, and in the principal way of creating a decentralized banking group, which means that our cryptocurrency's value is stable. It's stable amongst the group, the value that the group has created. which our value is at a minimum of $100 million per one boa. So actually, when I created it, it was $100 million. But now the price of boa, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Today boa is literally hitting on about $140 million per boa from the initial $100 million when I created, and that's because it's a tokenized asset, which means that it's based off the value of the native currency, which is the Lumen, is built upon another blockchain, right? And I just appreciate that Haiti's Future Academy is basically going into coding and the scientific side of it, because this is the way of the future of how people are
Mhm.
going to actually innovate. Like,
That's
science
right.
is good, don't get me wrong. There's always going to be a place for science, but as far as the next generation of innovators, you're going to have to know some computer coding. You're going to have to be familiar with computer coding and programming, and that's where we're going right now. So that's just a beautiful thing to see that's being taught in your schools, and something that's being addressed, because that's really the way of the future. It's the only way it's going to get, we're going to advance.
I love that. I love that. And I love the way you spread it out to the creators. And because we can actually make this work, you
Yep.
know? And you know what's so funny? Here's a funny story. I'm watching a Netflix show right now on my
Mhm.
downtime, which is not much. I watch a Netflix show. And the one that I'm actually watching right now is something called Startup. And it's about a computer, a
I've seen
cryptocurrency
that. Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. Yeah.
Shitcoin,
Hmm.
and I'm watching it. I'm hooked because I love crypto. I've been
Hmm.
following crypto before Silk Road. When you could buy crypto for about $125.
Yeah. Hmm.
Before Wall Street invested in blockchain and made the value go up and up and
Right.
up. So now it's like at 60,000. So and if you own crypto right now, is very beneficial to you, especially because of the law that's been given.
Yep.
So why just be a consumer of it? Why can't we
Right.
create our own? You
Right.
mean to tell me there's nobody that know how to code in our
Right.
communities where we
Right.
could invest and put our resources behind each other,
Exactly.
and just stick together because we are the largest consumers anyway.
Literally.
So if you give yourself a chance to be a creator in the cryptocurrency business, and you own something and you give it value, I could see I could see it happening. You
Yeah.
know,
and,
because
and, and that's
cryptocurrency
that's
is
the
the
beautiful
way.
thing. That's what made me flip the light switch. Like, I got into cryptocurrency, um, and I was just like, do I always have to be on the side of just buying it at a low price and waiting for it to jump off? No, I was like, no, there's definitely a way to create your own cryptocurrency, just like everybody else is doing, and implement your own structure to it. And that's the road that I chose to take. Is like, stop being such a consumer all the time. Just try to find something you can own. And going into the consumerism of it, cryptocurrency right now, the light is being shed on the power of it. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the Ukraine war going on.
Yes,
The
yes.
One of the last things that happened was the first thing that happened was they had a bank run, as usually always happens with wars. Everybody goes to the banks to try to get all their money out because they're afraid they're going to shut down and not be operating. Banks only have 10% of the money. So when people went up to show up to get their money out and everybody's getting it at the same time, they could not get all their money out. And then people were stuck with nothing. Like, literally, the war is going on and you have no money, no currency, no anything. So President Zelensky reached out to Elon Musk
Mm.
and asked him to turn on this system called a Starlink, which is like basically this global satellite that satellites multiple. I think at least over 20, like over a dozen or over 20, might be more than that. They plan to put more that are constantly revolving around the earth and can beam satellite Wi-Fi across the whole country. So the
Mm.
whole country of Ukraine right now has Wi-Fi for the sole
Oh,
purpose of being able to exchange cryptocurrencies and accept cryptocurrency donations. This is their wartime money right now. And it's showing the power of that. It's an old saying that grandma used to always say, you only have as much money as you have in your pocket, because the bank, I mean, we think they're guaranteed, but they're really not. They can shut down. Anything can happen to a bank at any time. It doesn't happen often, but it can. So when you have the power in your hand that you own all of your digital assets, you own these digital assets. You're not just holding them. You can do whatever you want with them. Never spin them, watch them grow. Anything you want, you can do. You're in power. You're in power of your own currency at this point in time, and that's the power that I feel like needs to be put into the African descendants of slaves' hands. Because first of all, we've been excluded from the financial system of the world since they were established. So that's why it's important for us to understand cryptocurrency, understand the power of cryptocurrency, and utilize this as our way to freedom.
Okay, so I would like to do some Q&As. I know some of the people are interested, so I want to thank all my people that's here: Malane D, Kiki Mills, The Realist, Danny Muse, Lily Lipman, Marvin Bouchard, Thomas Ricks. What blockchain? Let me see. What does this mean? What blockchain did you build on Ethereum? Yeah, Starlink. Okay.
Say what blockchain I built
Social,
on?
huh?
You said what blockchain I built on?
What blockchain did you build on? And then
Okay.
he asked, was it Ethereum?
No. It's not that one. It's Stellar. So
Stellar.
Bitcoin and Ethereum and Stellar is pretty much like the top three right now. um, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're very slow. They're not really uh I would say they're not really like economy capable to make payments on the go or like have a store of payments. But Stellar, on the other hand, is designed for basically it operates as like Cash App essentially. You send and exchange the value just as you would on Cash App, and building this on top of the Stellar blockchain provides a level of security that's superior. Um, is there, there's never been an incident on the Stellar blockchain of a hacking or anything like that, or any malicious things, but it's very very secure. Actually, MoneyGram uses the same system, just implemented the same system to send exchange payments globally. There's a lot of other prominent. IBM actually uses Stellar Network for a cryptocurrency that they have. So this is a very secure blockchain. It's called Stellar, and it runs off of Stellar Lumens, which is a native cryptocurrency on the Stellar Network. It's basically the Bitcoin of the Stellar Network, and that's how the value was established for the BOA asset, because it's about 591 million lumen per one BOA. Now the price of lumen is going up and up. It's going up, right? It hasn't went down since I made it. It's going up. So that means that the same 591 million lumen won't be the same value as they were yesterday. So it could be, if they say reach the Bitcoin level of 35,000 per lumen, like Bitcoin, the price of BOA would be astronomical. Like I haven't calculated it yet, but it'd be like literally trillions per BOA if it reached the pinnacle of what Bitcoin is worth right now, which is
And,
possible.
and I want to say, being though you are the creator of it, you have so much of it, right? So
Hmm.
much of this money that you are actually donating it to
Yeah,
creators to go out and distribute it. What
yes,
what was the term that you used about, like, if you was a billionaire, that you won't just keep all your money to your kids. You'll just send out money, like, to help out the world. Like,
right,
you'll
right.
give a lot of back to donation or
Like
charity.
like like philanthropy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I like the goal for me right now when I'm starting that, I'm like on a heavy campaign right now, is to donate these assets to historically black colleges and universities. I believe that first of all, HBCUs in America for black people have been a pillar for the community and for African American success since the times of Jim Crow. The Jim Crow era of
Yes.
America was doing segregation and everything. They were there for us to help us obtain education. And I am literally donating this to HBCUs for their historic purpose and their historic role in the uplifting of the black community and their position. This is a this is basically a reward for them. I want this to be a reward for all HBCUs. So I want a campaign to distribute these to HBCUs in the hopes that they would do the same thing I'm doing and build partnerships. Maybe they can build partnerships with all the graduates can get a piece of BOA. That could be reparations to the graduates. Like the graduates get maybe $20,000 for board. Every graduate gets $20,000 for board, and maybe you can come back to the school with your business idea from your degree, and they might purchase the board from you at the 100% value or 50% value. Who knows? So it gives us a way to be vertically integrated, which means that everything is contained in the same system, and also self-reliant. There's no longer a time to go ask for checks. There's no longer a time to ask for a loan. This is time to say, hey, we have an asset that has an established value. Will you accept this? If you don't accept this, you're missing out on the value, because we already established it and use it amongst ourselves. So that's why it's going to take us being the leaders of this, us being the ones who value it the most, not worrying about if another government or another person values it. This is not the game of this is not to sell, it's to tell and get people to agree and believe. It's not to say this right here. Really, I would not try to sell this full value to Black people. It's not to be sold at full value. It's for to believe in the full value and for you to have it and respect it as a full value. But I need everybody to first be able to have it. So that's why I'm distributing it for free, but it's not free. It's a participation right now for founders. And also when the consumer usability aspect comes in, I really want to sell all the assets at 1% value. And that's all that's all I'm trying to get off of for my benefit and my family benefit, because I did honestly create this to create generational wealth for my family.
I got two questions.
All right.
I wanted you to elaborate to the people, like some of your background. What was you doing before you actually got into this cryptocurrency thing, and what makes you qualified to give the donations to these colleges and different creators, right? And then the second question, I know it's a Black cryptocurrency, and it's based on reparations, right? For the African history about what's going on. But can different cultures have BOA? Like, can white people have BOA? Can Spanish people have BOA? Would that still count as a digital cryptocurrency for them? Like, how would that exchange be?
Right. So just to answer the first question, what I was doing before I was this idea started in 2019. I wanted to initially create a Black-owned banking chain that would basically be establishing Black-owned banks in Black neighborhoods throughout America. I got really, really into doing it. I started looking up the regulations. I was filling out the paperwork, communicating with the Office of Comptroller, which is the money office here we have to go through to get the bank established. The more I started doing it and reading the qualifications and reading the requirements, I realized that honestly, there's not much benefit you can do in the community with a Black-owned bank, because it's still in the system of this government money, this system that has been established to keep Black people out since it was invented, since it was created, right? So that means that if somebody doesn't meet a certain criteria, they can't get any money or any loan or anything, and that's where we end up trapped in the system that we're in to this day. Because when African descendants of slaves were released from slavery, they paid reparations, even especially in Haiti, they paid reparations to the oppressor, to the slaver, before they paid reparations to the actual slaves. So this is the system that created this system created a permanent slave state of African descendants of slaves. Because if you have a system where you need to have money to get money, and then they released you with no money or no assets, you have to have assets to get assets, and they released you with no assets, that means that you're going to be pitted out of the system to be able to get any loans or anything. So now you're going to have to do what? Sharecrop, be abused even more, go get these predatory loans because you don't have the right qualifications to get a proper loan, and the redlining to tell you where you can and cannot live. These are the things that was started when we were released from slavery with no assets. And to go into your second question, not second question, first. So what makes me qualified? I'm going to be realistic. I'm not really qualified to be in this current space, but what I got into, and especially in the crypto space right as it is right now, there's really not a school for this. This is really something you have to really dig into on your own endeavor to really understand the true nuts and bolts of it. Because I honestly think the only way that cryptocurrency is going to be advanced is by independent thinking about it. If somebody tells you how they think about cryptocurrency, you're only going to know about how they look at it and how that cryptocurrency can work. So it's going to take it took personal studying and development to develop this idea of how I want to personally view cryptocurrency. Which that's the beauty of cryptocurrency is that it literally can serve whatever purpose you want. If you wanted cryptocurrency to represent goats, it can represent goats. If you wanted to represent apples, it can represent apples. If you want to represent money, it can represent money. And now, so you can get a representation of it and understand how to implement it from self knowledge and self learning, you can advance a cryptocurrency. So, in this, I
Me, I
really,
love this idea. It's a great idea. I love this
yeah,
initiative because cryptocurrency is the next world order of things,
yes,
because because it's not costing you nothing. You're not losing nothing. You can still
right,
be invested into different stocks that you invested into, but
right,
you still have this that you
hmm
building on, that this is like a wealth for you.
literally, it's
While you're
wealth,
going through what you're going through, you still have this.
right.
And you learn in the game, you already know the game about stocks and stuff like
hmm
that. So
It just
this
diversifies, it just diversifies your portfolio and it puts you in a good situation. Like this is a potential very short game. Like all it would take is the right type of buzz to create and this to be like the household name like Bitcoin, and it's not far from that. All it takes is the right celebrity, the right scope of things to get it in there. But once you achieve that, this is something you got to realize. Okay, so there's wealth and there's riches, right? So riches can come and go, but when you have wealth you can never really get rid of wealth. One, wealth is a mindset. Two, wealth is something that you never want to get. You never want to get spend wealth. You want it to represent you so you can get more riches. You see what I'm saying? And riches are things like cash. Cash, for one, is the most important undercover slave tool that there is, because the more money you make, the more money they take, which is the government. So you can never really make enough money or have enough riches to stop making riches or start having to make money. But when you have wealth, aha, wealth, you can make more money off of wealth constantly. That's how the billionaires continue to grow their empires. They don't have billions of dollars of cash. They have billions of dollars of assets that they can literally go and borrow against or secure a loan with these assets of wealth that they have. And they will invest their money that they have borrowed against their assets and wealth that they already established. They never spend the wealth now. Get a business, maybe a hotel or something. The hotel goes into profit. They pay a loan back. Now they have a profitable asset making more money, and they never spent a dime from the wealth that they had. You see, that's the big boy. That's the big boy money game right there. It's like credit and cash. Those are basically slave tools for like the poor man. Credit is the poor man's only asset. That's it. When you get real loans with big money, they don't even look at credit. They look at how much assets you have. How much value can you turn up if this goes bad? You know. Um, so yeah. So
so
so the
moving
second question.
forward,
The second
yeah,
question. Yeah.
huh?
You said the second question about the diversity of the ownership of the coin, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So
Excuse me, I'm under the weather a little bit. I just want people to know that.
yeah,
Yes, I'm heavy breathing, I'm under the weather, but this was a very important interview for me. We've been talking about this for weeks,
yeah.
and we have some great things in the horizon. We want people to know about our partnership and how can they become a partner.
Awesome, awesome. And that's a great segue into your second question is in how can the coin be owned by a diverse population? And this coin is not to isolate any population. This is for everyone to achieve together, right? And so basically that's why I feel that reparations from the standpoint of giving reparations only to African descendants of slaves or black people, even though it's totally deserved, it's warranted, but it's not the proper way to go about it because every everybody participated in slavery. Even other Africans participated in slavery. I won't just say black people because Africa is very diverse. So it'll be bad to isolate people who, and then some also for us in America or abroad, some white people have been instrumental in achieving equality and rights in different areas for black people. So there's been allies everywhere. So we're looking for people who are allies. You can be white, black, tan, green, purple. As long as you're an ally and stand with ending systemic racism and acknowledge the fact that for global wealth distribution and acknowledgement of the historical oppression of African descendants of slaves, that is what we're looking for in our allies. And we believe that everyone can serve a purpose in this endeavor to basically um, to represent globally, to never again as mankind watch and or conspire for people to be systematically oppressed. And we just want people who agree with that and understand that fact.
Okay, great, 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 great. So, back to this. What are the stages of development for this coin, this crypto?
Okay. Okay. So the stages of development are first the founding development, the foundational development, as in what we're in right now. So the way it breaks down, we're in right now, there's 100,000 of the BOA assets. And each one of these assets can be broken down into seven decimal places. So seven decimal places after the decimal. And there's been 10,000 that are separated from the 100,000 to be distributed to the founders. And the first founder was me. I had all the 10,000. So far, I have distributed about 4,000 BOA, which is that's in some multi billions of dollars to different partners and found different founders. So the founders, each founder that I give this founder share, I label it on the blockchain as a founder share or a specific for Haiti's Future Academy or whoever is getting it. I label it as okay, this is who was a founder with this. So this is going to be a story. You're going to be able to go back 100 years from now, go all the way back to these Genesis blocks, these first blocks, and see who was the first ones to get these. Then after that, the founders, our purpose is to establish partnerships. So me as the main founder, I'm establishing partnerships by establishing founders. Now the founders establish partnerships with other people who agree with it. So that's why it's good to reach like organizations like historically black colleges, universities, banks, and so forth, because they already have a big infrastructure and people are already respecting them. So it'd be easier for them to probably start implementing the use of it and distributing it out. And after the founding phase, then it's going into the building the consumer usability. So the partnerships is the consumer usability. That means that now all the founders are going to get blessed with that amount, their amount of BOA. Say you get blessed with $1 billion worth of BOA, right? You establish partnerships with $500 million worth of BOA. You still have $500 million worth of BOA left. Now there's a consumer usability that you develop to say that these partnerships are major deals. Every partnership is like $1 billion deal because you establish this partnership. Just hypothetically, you establish a partnership with let's say I established a partnership with Howard University, right? And now they respect BOA and they say, okay, we will take, this is just hypothetical. We will take this BOA in exchange for an education. We'll start, if you bring us this amount, you can pay for education in BOA now. Okay, so now that creates a consumer usability. Okay, so now you can sell BOA for like 1, 2, maybe 5% of the value because people are going to buy it to send their kids to school with it. Or you can have a grocery store or something like that, or some type of partnership that would cause people to say, "Hey, I can do this with one." Or say we have established with a black-owned bank or a bank in general, the biggest one, JP Chase Morgan. Say, okay, now we give them say $1 billion worth of the asset, and now they say, okay, we respect it. We'll buy this crypto asset from anybody who holds it for maybe 0.1% or 0.001%. That's still $10,000 to $100,000 right there at 0.1 or 0.01% of the established value. So everybody knows that they're buying against a value, so they'll know they're getting a deal. So this is the consumer usability that we will build is in the partnerships where people want to do what we did with the coin, the things that we're doing, they're going to want to do, and they're going to want to buy it based off the fact that they can use it with these partners. So after the consumer usability is developed, hopefully we can establish hopefully we can establish this is in the future or as soon as it can happen, societies where the most essential workers have leisure lifestyles of the top class, high class workers. It shouldn't be a reason why um, the essential job of collecting garbage, because you think about how essential that is. If that wasn't there, the world would be in a total disaster. So why can't they make as much as a CEO, or make it, or have a lifestyle leisurely of a CEO or somebody who's important in society? So we want everybody to we want to basically help make it a common thing that jobs that are essential get paid essential wages, as far as like being able to live comfortably. That's the whole goal, is that no one should be financially excluded from living a comfortable lifestyle, as long as you're contributing to society. And you have a choice whether you want to be a part of this system or not. So it's not like a implementing something forced. This is literally, you have a choice to be a part of this society or not a part of society, or a part of this movement to help everyone be financially included. Like, there should be no one that goes to work every day and need food stamps. Like, why? No one should go to work every day and have to think about, how they're gonna pay for gas or their bills. Because if you're contributing, you should be contributed too. So that's the broader picture of it that I would love to see implemented on a broader scale of it. Maybe this could be a currency to pay workers eventually, or a currency to supplement workers. Say a
Mm.
company can't necessarily pay their workers, or choose not to pay their workers the ways that they need to be paid. Okay, so they know they can supplement the rest. Okay, we have these partnerships with these brands that, okay, you can get your rent paid, you can get your food, and we give you this money to do whatever you want with. So we know we can have, it can be supplemental, and it can also be the main currency of basically for to financially include society. So those
So
are the
basically on us, excuse me for cutting you off. It's basically on us to bring the value of it, right? And how can I make this cryptocurrency have value, right?
Mhm. Right.
So right now we already doing free education for the kids. They get
Hmm.
free tuition, and we also cover the lunch budget. So is it a way that we can partner with, let's say, a big school like Howard University, and accept a BOA, or different banks, or a grocery store? Be like, you know what? How can we help out another BOA creator? How can we liquidate
Right.
this to fund education in Haiti, or to
Right.
fund Haiti's future academy?
Hmm. Yeah, like that's a definitely an important question, is how can this be established as such. So that's the main purpose of the BOA banking group. Like, no BOA member of the group should feel isolated. We should all be working together. So as if there's a way to help one another out, and that we can especially use this currency to help each other out, then we should all, everybody in a part of the BOA banking group, should be willing to help BOA banking group members. And so the value is already established. That's the thing. So the value is established as such. We want to get the value known and established, just like this. Okay, so I might not have $1 billion, but I know Elon Musk is a billionaire. You see what I'm saying? So that means that everybody doesn't necessarily have to have BOA for the value to be established. Everybody just needs to know about BOA. You see, it's like Bitcoin. I own no Bitcoin, but I know it's around $35,000 right now. You see, so like that means that this gives you somebody bargaining power. Somebody came to me right now and was like, "Hey, I give you 4 Bitcoins for your car." Okay, 4 Bitcoins, that's about $140,000 at $35,000 a piece. My car is only worth about 25,000. Yes, sir. Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? You can have it. I go because I'm gonna go take exchange this out and get my 140. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way we want to establish it. Is basically to establish it. We want to be in the process of giving people more for the same value. For instance, like if you wanted to go and say acquire some desk or some type of things for the school or something like that, right? You would go approach somebody who's selling it and say, "Hey, um, up front, right now, I'm telling you, okay, I'm with this school. I'm with Haiti's Future, and we have an academy, and we're looking for desks. I see you make them. So I want to what I want to do for you for your support outside of me buying anything from you or not. I just want to donate or transfer you $1 million worth of this asset, right? Like $1 million worth of asset. And then okay, so they accept that. Okay, you accepted that. Is there any way possible I can give you double, triple, quadruple, 10 times the value, whatever these desks are for this cryptocurrency? And this is going to support a good cause into helping build Haiti's future by educating our youth. And that's something they can hold on to for the next 100 years, and it might be more valuable than when you gave it to them. More than likely, it will be more valuable than you gave it to them. And that's the way we're going to establish partnerships, as basically by us, the value that's already established. Say I wanted to buy a pair of shoes. These are just scenarios. These scenarios on how to be creative with the distribution and establishing the value. Say I wanted to buy a pair of shoes from somebody, and I went to the shoes are $100. I say, look, I have $1,000 worth of this board cryptocurrency to buy these shoes. Is there any way possible you can do that? So now this is the founding. This is what the founders are going to have to do. The founders are going to have to be the ones to verbalize and make deals. This is the currency we have now for founders. We're going to have to make informal deals right now. But after we make enough informal deals, it should achieve a consumer usability that people will want to make the same. Now the first couple might be informal, but once the line is set up, now these are consumer usability character traits. You see what I'm saying? Like now consumers, people who want to buy it or might already have it, they think they can go or should be able to do the same thing we did with the cryptocurrency. You see? So that's how the value is going to be established, is in building these partnerships with informal deals at first. It's going to like for instance, how I reached out to you, in the DMs and everything like that, as far as in email, as far as my senior channel on YouTube. That was very informal, kind of guerrilla tactics. This is going to have to be this out the Trump page. You know what I'm saying? This that Master P. This the out the Trump page. Look, I got this value. Can you deal with it?
And I believe in what you're doing. I really do, because this is what I want people to understand. It's not costing a thing. I'm not
Right.
buying nothing. I'm just receiving something. Oh, my mother. I'm just receiving something that have the potential to break a lot of generational,
Curses.
financial,
Bondage.
yeah, bondage, for
Mhm.
lack of, So, and I have this asset, and it's on me. Like, let's say if I was one of the richest men in the world, right? I
Mhm.
got to serve with a purpose. So having this asset made me feel like I'm the richest man in the world right now, right? Because I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, the thing is, you can't be greedy. You got to
Right.
distribute this to
Yes.
people and get them to distribute this to people. So it just got to be
Mhm.
like a chain effect, and we got to give it value.
Mhm.
So I'm going to find a way to start distributing this, because for the people that's watching, how do they become a founder?
Okay, so becoming a founder, you have to go through me, or you could purchase the assets on the blockchain. But the preferable way is to go through me, so that I could actually assign a founder share to that account. You see, so like
And how do they reach you, my brother? Instagram.
uh, yeah, Instagram. As far as what's my Instagram name for the? I just changed it recently, I think. Boa me DCB, at Boa me DCB. And also you can reach me my email, randyo'kane@gmail.com. And I will send you a founder's share. And this is the thing I want you to realize. You said that you feel like the richest man in the world at this point, as far as asset value, this adds to our complete net worth. Literally, your net worth right now is what that BOA amount says, regardless of who respects it or what. That's like saying you have a house or property. Nobody, the market might not be good for it right now, but does that change the value? Not really. You know what I'm saying? The value is still there, just waiting for the right market to hit, so it'll be easier to liquidate. So this is really an asset that boosts net worth. And to become a founder, I'm reaching out to well, not people, entities that I believe that are doing good things already, and I'm looking for a certain type of caliber of founder. Like this is for everyone, but as far as the founders, I want to see some demonstration of some good characteristics, because this currency definitely, I mean, like all currency, it definitely has its bad use case scenarios, the black market and everything like that. But that's why I want to establish it in the hands of people doing good, HBCUs, black owned banks, schools like Haiti's Future. It's just a beautiful thing to put this in people's hands who are already doing things good, because you know that their mind's going to be creative to think about better things to do with this currency. So yeah, just reach out to me as far as my email or on Instagram, and I'll put you onto the instructions. Also, the website too has the instructions on how to get your founder's share. So yeah, reach out to me and visit the website, and I will definitely distribute a founder's share.
And you have a keyboard right there that you can type in your Instagram information, right?
Yeah, yep, right
Yeah,
here.
please put it up there in the comments. The people are congratulating you. We have Marvin Bouchard said rebuilding and said this man, my man is rebuilding Black Wall Street. Very impressive.
Yes,
Kiki
sir.
Mills, the realist. It is amazing. I commend this brother. And everybody, remember to grab your day one shirt. Press the link. We got to go to fund the benches for the STEM program at our school. So Barbara Bridge is in the building. What's going on? And excellent work this brother is doing. You know,
Appreciate y'all.
and Betty Drift said that some Jews helped the Nazis exterminate other Jews during the Holocaust. That didn't stop Germany from giving them reparations. And Kiki Mills, the realist, said this has the potential to break generational cycles of poverty and to elevate financial status for our people. This can level the playing field for us.
Sure.
So, yes, please put that information up there, my brother. So, okay, what would you like for me to do with the Bitcoin that you donated to Haiti's Future Academy? What would you love to see?
I would love to see, like, honestly, I would love to see all the teachers of the academy have a piece. At least like one whole coin. You know what I mean? Um, or a piece of it, or at least a good value of it. Maybe how much ever you think is appropriate. I don't want to put a limit or amount. This is your thing. You know what I'm saying? But I would just love to see the teachers who are willing to help teach the youth to have this, because those are some of the most important people in the world right now. Teachers who are teaching the youth, educating the youth. Also, I would like to see partnerships established. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of of your business or anything like that, but whoever maybe you go to get the food from for the children's lunch and food like that, maybe you can establish a partnership with them by offering this up front, not to buy the food, but just up front to establish a partnership by, hey, I appreciate y'all working with us, or the relationship we have. I think y'all deserve at least like a couple $1,000s worth of BOA, just to know that we appreciate what you're doing. This is right now. Maybe they might be able to do an exchange for that. But the partnerships, whoever you're working with right now, whoever the current people are in it right now, distribute some of it to them. You see what I'm saying? That'd be the most influential thing you could do, is to whoever's the supporters already, and also, for instance, say something like the desk program or the fundraisers. It will be a nice effect if you could basically give double for your trouble. Like, if somebody donate $100 or $1 million for the towards the desk or towards endeavors for the school, you now have the potential to say, I can give you $1 million worth of this crypto asset in exchange for $1 million donation. And this $1 million, when I say $1 million in BOA, $1 million in BOA, because we have our own reference to our value, $1 million in BOA is 0.001 of BOA. That's $1 million. But that 0.001 of BOA right now is really $1.4 million. You see what I'm saying? So you just giving people like a lot of value every time that somebody makes an interaction or exchange with you. But also, I want you to make sure you keep in mind the amount you're gonna keep. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the important part. So, like, be a distributor, but also know you're gonna, a certain amount you're gonna keep and distribute it to everybody who's helping the program right now. It's basically, as of right now, it's a representation of your appreciation for them and building a partnership. Also, it's in good faith of a partnership going forward. So maybe you can start um, implementing partnerships that you can maybe outrightly exchange. this cryptocurrency for.
So I'm just trying to paint the picture, because I understand what you're saying, but I'm just trying to find different ways of putting this out there and how will that be a valuable asset to somebody, just having this amount of this crypto, you
Mhm.
know. But I believe that it don't have no harming effects in it. And what
Right.
I mean by that is because you're not losing nothing. You having different assets. It's an asset that you
Right.
own,
Mhm.
and one day those assets could just flip to, you see how you got that number so high to bring it to this number. One day that $1 million is going to be worth point six point,
Mhm.
is in the numbers where if you own a million BOA, you could actually have, it's going to start off by $10,000, then it's
Mhm.
going to go $20,000. So
Right.
actually, it becomes to 100,000. It could really become to that actual number,
And literally, right, right.
or even go like the euro and pass the dollar. You
Hmm.
never know,
You
but
never know.
that power lies within us to give it value, to
Hmm.
understand that this is an asset that we must share with our friends and um, establish like a partnership, like with
Hmm.
a creator. I love what you're doing, huh? See, and
Yeah, yeah.
because I
Like
got plans
literally.
to give out half of this asset that you gave me. I got plans to give it out within the year or something,
Mhm.
whatever God tell me to. But
Right.
I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna
Mhm.
distribute it. I'm
Right.
gonna give it value, in order, because I believe in unity. If we stick together, the things that we can do is have no limit. The things that we can do
Literally.
have no limits.
The group
And
cooperation, that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? White people group cooperated off of whiteness for a while, like some type of way we have to have a group cooperation. I believe this transcends color for unity. This transcends amongst a currency, and everybody loves currency, and everybody can use currency. It's beyond a political statement. That's another thing too I want to make clear. BOA is not a political statement or political module. BOA is for acknowledgement of the historical oppression of African descendants of slaves and global wealth distribution. Now, any political entity that's against global wealth distribution, I mean, what kind of politics are you in? You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the scope of the people who we can use in this movement. And it's almost like it's such a beautiful thing to see, like, this currency right now is in far reaches of the earth. Like literally, like I have some partners in Azerbaijan, which is a country in Eastern Europe. I have partners now with you in Haiti. You know what I mean? I have partners in California, partners in Texas, partners in all over the world. So like to me, it's almost like it's a matter of time before this jump off for real. Like I can't imagine for like to be telling this message about to black people and especially in general that we have reparations here now. It's going to take
and
20 years.
And
And
not only that, you're not going to give up your secrets or surprise, but you have a major project on the horizon,
right,
something very historical that you are partnering with. And I think
right.
that's exciting because
It is
once they come into the game, it changed the whole vibe. It changed everything.
literally.
So without giving up too much, give us a little something that's on the horizon that's going to bring even more awareness to this coin that we're going to possess millions of it,
Hmm.
or billions, or in your case, trillions of it
Hmm.
that you
Okay,
would just.
so a big project, a couple big projects on the table right now. We're waiting for finalization, but there's talks going on, and pretty much a willing partner. Um, we're looking for Howard University to receive a $10 billion philanthropic donation from the Board Me Banking Group. We're looking for the University of District of
Howard
Columbia, which is
University.
my. You said what?
Now I'm just
Yeah,
amazed at the name. You said Howard University and
yeah.
donation, and I'm like, okay.
So the recognition that would be garnered from Howard University accepting this historic asset that represents reparations for slavery, that literally could get national attention, especially since Howard has been talking as in this is the largest philanthropic donation the school has ever received. And this is the same school that our vice president is from in America. It's the Black Harvard. So it can't be understated how much this would mean to BOA. the initiative for Howard to accept this asset. So we have high hopes for that. Also, the school, University of District of Columbia, my alma mater, has agreed to accept a $10 billion donation of this asset, and they have a great program going on there called Don. I don't remember the exact acronym, but they basically work with inner city students and help them to establish businesses and also pay for a part of their education. So there was also a conversation that I had with one of the head directors, as this could be an asset that every one of these Don students, these students that are part of this program at UDC, to basically give them this asset upon graduation, or make it a thing where all UDC students get this asset upon graduation, because college and education is good, but it causes a lot of
Powerful. That's
unnecessary.
powerful. That's
Right?
powerful. That's innovative thinking. Just the way you put it. Okay, they receiving this donation, and they got different ways to distribute it back to the people, and,
Exactly.
and the nonprofit program, and also making sure every student get a piece of this asset upon graduation.
Yeah.
That is powerful right there. So I applaud
Literally.
that, and this, and I love to see Alamala getting behind this. Excuse me, my brother. I'm under the
Good.
weather, but we fighting because this is very
Fighting, bro.
important.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and somebody said, what is the best wallet for BOA?
Okay. It's
Or
the
does it
lobster
matter?
wallet. I'm gonna type it. It's lobster wallet. It's a
Lobster wallet?
lobster wallet. It's an app on the in the Google and Apple store, and it's also a website, a secure website. And to make this lobster wallet, it's a very secure thing. It's not a
Super
quick or
secure.
easy process, but
It's
it's
super secure.
necessary. It's necessary. This is your bank account right here. And the thing is with crypto, you don't have the luxury of being able to say I forgot my password and reset it. If you forget your password, you need to have the passphrase written down, or that's all your assets right there.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you get a secure platform, but also with BOA is available on any Stellar-based network, and there's like literally hundreds of Stellar wallets and Stellar applications and websites. It's available on any of them on the whole Stellar decentralized finance market. So you can really choose what wallet you want to use in the Stellar network. But I prefer use Lobster because it's like Cash App, and it's very quick, and it has QR code capabilities, and it's amazing. It's a literally amazing platform.
So now we waiting on a video now, my brother. We just showed them a 101 how to, you just take your phone and show them how to go on the app and go into BOA and
Okay.
start making these connecting with people. I don't know if you're gonna have a giveaway where you just decided today I'm gonna give out 100 million of this asset.
Hmm.
First 10, first one comes, and and get
Right.
the people connected.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's that's a good idea. And that's what I'm thinking about doing. I have a partner in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, he's a music artist, and he has his own video recording company. And we've been talking about linking together on May 22nd to actually make a commercial video and also establish the market more so in Charlotte. So he's doing a basketball tournament. And during that basketball tournament, we're going to have a major BOA giveaway and a major BOA educational type session there. And so, like, that's going to be something that we're going to do. We're also going to create these videos and this video presence. 'Cause, everything is visual. I want to show people how to do this. So,
Okay, and to read some of this, Marvin Broussard said group economics. Okay, and Young Carter said, how much is one of these digital cryptocurrencies? What platform is it sold in? So he's probably just joining us, and
mhm. Okay. Yeah. So, as of right now, per one BOA is $140 million. But you can buy varying degrees of it. You can buy $10, $13 worth, or $10 worth, $20 worth. I think the least you can buy is about, I think, $10 worth because of the value that's established at. And it's on the Lobster platform or any Stellar based. Um, I would just say just stick to Lobster. It keeps it simple. Lobster is available on Lobster um, for the purchase, and you have to buy Lumen first, which is like the native currency to purchase, or either US dollar coin to purchase it. and right now it's $140 million per boa. When I created it, it was literally $100 million per boa, but the price is going up, up, up,
What
up.
does that mean? What does that mean? It's $140 million per boa.
What you said? What does it mean? Huh?
Yeah, when you said it's 140 million, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, that's the value of it. Yeah.
So for the people in layman's terms that don't understand what does that mean, what does that mean?
Okay, that means that in order to receive this asset from anybody but a founder, like myself or Brother Love here, you would have to pay $140 million to achieve to obtain it. That means you
Wow.
have to go and purchase it dollar for dollar for that value. It also means that it holds the value of that representation. So if you came to someone and said, "I would like to buy this $140 million property for this $140 million asset," it has that value, and they could take it and put it for sale on the decentralized exchange market and either make a little at a time or a lot at a time, but just have it there for sale, or you just have it there, is keeping it increasing the value, just like a property or something that's a property or a business that can keep incurring more and more value as time goes on. As of right now, when I created this,
I think that's amazing.
it had a $10 trillion market cap when I first created them. It was 100 million boa, no, it was 100,000 boa at $100 million piece, $10 trillion. Right now, if you go look at the market cap online, it's at 13.2 trillion. That means that in about a month, since this cryptocurrency has been created, I've made, or and the cryptocurrency founders have made $3.2 trillion since this has been made. And this
So
essentially
it's growing.
is growing. It's growing because the value of Stellar Lumen, the blockchain that is built upon, is increasing every day. A lot of cryptocurrencies are increasing right now because everybody's noticing the value of cryptocurrency. You know, so that's how it's increasing. Like when I first made it, it was like 18 to 20 cent per lumen. Now it's about 22 to 23 cent. If lumen hits $1, man, oh man, it's gonna be like literally when lumen is $1. If you calculated that, that'd be like 590 something million dollars per boa. So it's 100 million now. But if lumen reaches $1, it would be over $500 million per boa, and it's projected to reach $10 per lumen by like 2030. If it was $10 per lumen, I mean that's like $1 trillion per boa right there. If it ever reached $10.
Wow. Amazing, amazing,
Yeah,
awesome work, man. I'm loving the coding on this. And I love to see creators such as yourself. And
shit,
going back to the school, this is why we believe in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
right.
This is this is all part of the STEM,
It's literally,
education.
yeah, literally like I feel like I've embodied all of those in one. Like I've taken the science, the math, the technology, and all that, put it into one. And before we leave, I want to definitely touch on where this project originally came from, because this project really initially came from scientific literature research, right? When I was at Charles University is a medical school in California, and they basically are in the middle of the hood in Watts, California, and they are pretty much the dedicated healthcare facility for that whole area. It's a massive health service facility, but it's one of the only ones in the area for like a 10-15 mile radius or more. It's crazy. So it's an urban health disparity school. So when I went there, I learned about urban health disparities, which is basically how your health outcomes, such as like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, all those um, adverse health outcomes are related to your zip code or where you live at. Where you live can determine your health outcome basically almost precisely. It's precisely, you can look at the wealthier areas and have better health outcomes, and poor areas they have less health outcome, worse health outcomes. Because you look at, they have like things like food deserts, which means that you can't find healthy foods. You can only find fast food and liquor stores and everything like that in these areas instead of finding healthy fresh foods. Even the pollution, they're built closer to highways. Even the allostatic, they call it allostatic load of stress, which means that this is stress that you don't realize, but your body is constantly going through. And African descendants of slaves have a high level of allostatic load stress, a high level of stress of unrealized stress due to living in a racially charged environment. Like for instance, you don't if you don't get a job, you might be like trying to discard it, but in the back of your mind, you could think, oh, it might be because I was black. Now that little small thought is like a micro tear in your stress coping ability, and those stresses build up and build up. Okay, so you get pulled over by the cops, or that little initial fear that you feel when the police get behind you, even though they're not worried about you, you just feel a little tension because you driving while black. You go and get a bank loan and you get denied. You might have got denied because you was black. All these things that's in your mind, that you in the back of your mind, that you kind of like try to suppress, are causing high levels of cortisol, high levels of stress, and causing our bodies to go into this stress mode, into like a fight or flight mode, which means that when you're in a fight or flight mode or survival mode, your body from evolutionary development starts to gain weight, obesity. Your body attracts fat and holds on to fat more because your body wants to be able to survive a famine. You start to process blood sugar slowly because your body wants to hold on to glucose. All these things, how your blood pressure starts to be high because your body is trying to maintain, is going through these stressful situations. So the stress is the main cause. And even being socioeconomically disadvantaged, poor, and having not making ends meet like they should, this stress builds up and causes adverse health outcomes. So all the time, everybody's always focusing on the medical treatment, the scientific advancements, the development of more cures and these things like that. But honestly, there's no way to attack health disparities, the health outcomes that are affected adversely by stress factors, if you do not address the wealth inequity and the wealth gap first. That has to be addressed. So that's why this project was initially created, because we are looking to turn around the health outcomes of socioeconomically disadvantaged peoples. So how to do that? We have to have something a value of wealth that we can distribute to close this gap. And it's not going to come from the government. It's going to have to come from the people, by the people. And
That's right.
that's what we're right
That's
now.
a very powerful thing you said. From the
Yes, sir.
people, by the people. That's the
Yes, sir.
slogan that I believe in myself, because we have to take action, and the way to take action is by doing, finding solutions. We cannot
Yep.
complain about saying, oh, this is what we want, this is what we deserve. Go
Mhm.
out there and do something.
Right.
And you did that through a program that started from coding. You have this access to stuff, and like for the people, we just getting our peoples now just coming in. So I guess everybody came back from church. So we
Mhm.
just getting started, my brother. Because I want the people to come on. So you did a lot of research for this. You
Mhm.
got your bachelor degree, and you got your
Wow.
bachelor degree, then you got your master's degree. You were
Mhm.
highly educated, brother, that wanted to go through the process of owning a black-owned bank, but then you
Mhm.
seen it had too many loopholes, and look at the waves of the world and see what cryptocurrency means to the world and what direction it is bringing us in, what type of century is bringing us in, and to
Mhm.
see that we do not have those same regulations that was made by a systematic, dependent system. My
Mhm.
brother, help me out. So you went. Let me just. You went and created something.
Right.
You went and created something. So we got some people coming on, and they just let me shout them out real quick. We have let me see. Okay, okay. This is a fantastic conversation. Well done, brother Love. Bring this intellectual brother on the platform. Let's go. What's the best wallet for BOA, or does it bat? Oh, I read that already. So let's see. Hit those likes, everybody, on your way in. And Miss Nora's mission, wonderful sister that do wonderful work for the kids in
Okay.
this movement. She said, "I want some. Pick me. Thank you." So she wants some of the wallet, So
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. The more
so what's
people,
the
the
best
better.
way for B to do that? Would for them to be in contact with you straight up be better, or the money that has been donated through your foundation I could spread amongst the teachers of the school and
Mhm.
my viewers and those supporters of Haiti's future?
That okay. So either way works, honestly. because right now I still want to distribute more, right? And but for you being on the ground in Haiti, man, I feel like you're in a perfect position right now to literally bring the awareness to this and be on like some mass distribution type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe to the people first, but you can start first with the businesses around in Haiti that support the people there. Reach out to them and see how they feel about maybe accepting it as a asset of good faith. Like this is something to build a partnership. This is for the partnership. I'm giving you $1 million of this right now to build a partnership. Now I have a couple people working for me or a couple people who support this and have this. They might come in here and want to see if they can purchase something. Maybe. You know what I mean? So also you can also distribute it as like this is the reparations due to Haiti. This is the reparations for all the Haitian ancestors that didn't get their just due, you know. And if you could build a program around the distribution of the asset as reparations, that would be good. But I feel like it's going to really be more valuable if you can distribute the asset and say something that's like essential for the people that they use. You know what I mean? With that partner, who's that partner that everybody goes to that they, to survive on to use? Like, how can I build a partnership with these important functions of this society? You see what I'm saying? And once you build that value, people are going to really want it. Okay, I can go over here and get some bread over here. I can go over here and get something with this, or I can go over here and exchange this and get some money, or you know what I mean? Like so. I would even reach out to the Haitian banks. I don't know how the Haitian banks work or anything like that, but just see if they might be willing to establish a partnership. You know, this is enough to rebuild Haiti in completeness if everybody was to accept it in mass quickly. You know what I mean? If everybody just understood this is a value, don't try to learn about all the underpinning things on cryptocurrency. And I feel like a lot of even my friends and people who I know, they get intimidated by cryptocurrency because the name in itself sounds wow. Cryptocurrency. It literally sounds like the most complicated thing. But once you get into the aspect of it, it's just the same value as money. This is literally it's a value that's established between us, and we use it as such. You know, so the faster that we can find a way for Haitians or groups of Haitians to adopt this, I feel like the faster we can start rebuilding the country. Say if you were able to get people to you were able to establish partnerships where people were able to pay their rent and get sustenance and food, right? For it. So now you have people that will subsidize whatever they're paying their workers with this. Now you can start people can start rebuilding the country as far as the things for the earthquakes and everything like that happen, you know. So the sooner we can get people to adopt it and understand that the value is there, the sooner we can get more things done with it, you know.
You know what I want to do? I want to make sure that everybody get in contact with you that's interested, and you can share this partnership with them. You know, so they can have
Okay.
more access to it. You know, have
Right.
more of it than me personally myself could
Right.
distribute. Because one of the things is I want you to be able to distribute everything that you're supposed to distribute.
Right.
If you want to distribute more of it my
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
no problems, because I will. I'm going to distribute this. You know,
All right.
so make sure that because I love it. So
And,
let's
and,
move.
and the thing is too, this is the beauty of this right now. Okay, so right now you're a founder of this, right? So us establishing the consumer usability of it. Say that this like starts popping like bigger than Bitcoin, like this becomes like becomes like the money, right? Now, since as a founder, you're on tap. You're on tap now, bro. It's like literally whatever you need, man. Like literally, just is nothing but a question. Especially with Boa, you know, like, hey, look, I need a trillion more. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, let me know. You know, let me know. Let me
Oh
know. The
man,
plug.
man, it's crazy how the universe works, man. But the universe usually it connects because I'm a big supporter of cryptocurrency. You
Mhm.
know, from reading the Economist, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and following what's going on in the stock market and things that's growing in value or decreasing in value.
Mhm.
Um, and I've been watching cryptocurrency for a long time, and for everybody
Mhm.
that's been on it for a long time that actually hit or understand what cryptocurrency is definitely it's good having that knowledge. So being
Mhm.
though you a crypto guy, what do you
Mhm.
feel about NFTs?
So actually, this is really an NFT, right? So NFTs are going to change the world, and one thing that I've seen is that they've projected that the NFTs in general will be responsible for the biggest wealth transfer in the history of mankind,
No.
upwards of over 160 some trillion dollars, right?
And who's putting that news out there?
I don't know the source exactly, but I seen it. I saw it somewhere. I actually think I was talking to my mom about it, and she sent me an article that she was reading somewhere on it like that. Because I was telling
Okay,
my,
so
my
it could
mom
be
is my mom is into this too now.
a,
You know, so
a good source. Yeah.
yeah.
So continue
So what I was saying
that
is
NFTs will
okay.
have.
NFTs, yeah, NFTs are this is the NFT. An NFT is a non fungible token, and basically it's a group of people that have an agenda with the cryptocurrency. So you have some cryptocurrencies that are in video games, the NFTs. Some cryptocurrencies are for land development, and they use they use the power of cryptocurrency. But this cryptocurrency is established to establish an international banking group akin to the World Banking Group. But instead, we're not going to be compiled of governments. We're going to be compiled of individuals that believe in ending systemic racism.
Man, it gets better.
Right.
It gets better. So non-refundable NFTs. How you say it again? Non-fundable.
Non-fungible tokens. It's like non-fungible means like non-duplicatable. It can't be duplicated. Like nobody can take and duplicate a Boa coin because it's time stamped and everything.
So you said it is an NFT. So that means putting it, being though it's an NFT, right?
Mhm.
Is that mean how deep in the metaverse are you going? And is it gonna like what is its value once it's put on the metaverse? And how do you feel about the metaverse?
I feel the metaverse. The metaverse is the Roman Colosseum of society, just like Facebook, Instagram, in a way. It's a distraction, from the real things. I think it's some great opportunities to make good money in the metaverse. But as far as all NFTs aren't going to be available in the metaverse. All NFTs aren't going to be in the metaverse. So this might be able to be in the metaverse, but it's all up to the NFT developers, like how we want to get on there. Like my main thing right now is into the
It's
banking
the real
system and the
world.
school system, but the metaverse, I like the idea you can make money off of it and digital assets. But honestly, I feel like just like honestly, I'm gonna be real with you right now. I don't think revolutionaries or people who are trying to advance movements, I don't see Facebook or Instagram really being the tool that's going to save us. Because one is so much censorship. I don't know if you're familiar with Farrakhan. You familiar with Farrakhan?
Yes.
Honorable Louis Farrakhan. They took him off of Instagram and Facebook. They
Wow.
literally removed him.
He has a platform to speak his mind
Yeah,
about the people that follow him. So it's like that's not fair. He
that's
don't
not
have
fair. That's not fair. They
freedom of
say
speech.
he's anti-Semitic. I mean, he's to me he's not anti-Semitic, and it's really hurtful to see someone with such power, such a voice, and it shows you where how they're trying to dominate and control us. That's why I even
Mm,
believe that even if this movement, BOA, the movement that I'm a part of and founding, if they got the right media and stuff like that and the right attention, I don't think they would have me on Facebook and Instagram too much longer. It's too powerful. It's too real, and like so that's why I'm not really clout chasing or chasing for a cosigner, or Instagram cosigner, because honestly, I'm not even on Instagram like that. I'm focused reading and finding out more stuff, so people that think like me aren't really on Instagram either like that. We out here making moves as a movement, not in a moment on the picture of the Instagram. You see what I'm saying? This is real life. This is real life right now.
that's
Boots on
right.
the ground.
So man, that's powerful right there. So it's not a metaverse, y'all. It's a real thing. I already knew that. I just wanted to see what your ideas was on the
Mhm.
metaverse and having this as an NFT. That's something different too. That's
It
so it's
is.
about a group of people pushing an agenda moving forward, right?
For a global banking group like this. This is literally what the World Bank is, but the World Bank is established by governments, states, and governments. So we will be a global banking group that is established by the people for the people. And it's interesting how democracy and all these terms for government, which everybody should have the right to govern their country accordingly, how they do it and how they want to do it. So we don't want to control the politics of it, but it's interesting how for all these generations and millennia, people will try to find a government. We need a government for the people. We need this for the people. But honestly, the main thing that we really need to stop politicizing, that the main thing that is politicized, is currency. Because everybody needs currency, no matter what they believe in, religion, politic, whatever. Everybody needs currency to live. So it needs to be a point where it's the political motivation behind currency and the lobbying and everything like that. That's going to have to cease in order for the world and for everybody to be financially included. And that's
Okay.
that's the main goal, is to financially include the rest of the world. And I really want the reason why I say the two main things. When you go to the website, you see the two main points. The main points are global wealth distribution and the acknowledgement of the historical oppression of African descendants of slaves. The reason why the acknowledgement of the historical oppression of African descendants of slaves is so important, because that's what this movement was born out of. It was born out of the lack of an experience of the African disposition in America, in the world, in the new world. So, in order for you to receive this great value, which it is a great value, you have to at least acknowledge the roots of where it comes from. And the reason why we want you to acknowledge the roots, because I'm gonna say this is my mission and goal of this cryptocurrency. I want BOA and Black people, African descendants of slaves, to be the model for the world of how to rise
Mhm.
above systemic oppression. And in order to rise above systemic oppression, you have to step outside of the system. You're not going to get out of a systemic oppression in the same
That's right.
system, in the cash dollar and the financial
That's right.
modes that they have created. We have to step outside of that to rise
And
above that.
crypto is the way. So I want to get to some of the questions because I love when the people are engaged because they loving the way that you're speaking right now. So it's good to engage them. First, I want to send a big special thank you to Miss Shay Reed, Choo Choo, for the super chat donation. Thank you so much. And Blicky, salute, what's going on, Lin Min. So sure, somebody have a question. Before they put the question, because people want to connect with you now to become founders. So your email again, please spell it out because our moderator Kiki Mills, the realist, is going to type it for the people so they
Okay.
can contact you directly and become a founder.
Okay. Okay. So my email is Randy, Randy, O'Kane, which is spelled O as in Oscar, K as in King, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, G as in Go, at gmail.com.
Okay, Randy, spell it. I'm gonna type it myself. O
K
K
A
A
N G.
at Gmail. So easy.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just going. Okay, and another question: how many of this crypto are there? Is there a definite number like Bitcoin?
Absolutely. And we have a very, very limited amount. It's 100,000 only. And only 100, and there's no more that's ever going to be created. This is not built off of incentivizing mining. The mining, or the way, mining, the way they mine Bitcoin, every transaction produces more Bitcoin pretty much by joining the blockchain. So this basically produces by the the distribution of it, the decentralization of money, the information spreading the information of this. And yeah, so it's only 100,000 ever created. They were created at the value of $100 million US dollars a piece, and 100,000 of them. So yeah, that's how
And
many.
now it was created. Okay, so it's 100,000 of them, and when it was created, each one was worth 100 million, right?
Yes, yes.
And
At
now
the time of creation, at the
and
time,
now it has risen to 140 million.
yes, yes. Because at the time of creation, it was 591 some odd million lumen. I wanted it to be $100 million. So that I looked at calculated the price, and I was like, okay, it's 500 some 91 million lumen equals $100 million. Now that same amount of lumen is worth $140 million. So in order to purchase it, it would cost $140 million. Oh, and by the way, there's 100,000 total. 10,000 were distributed to the founders. I was the first founder. From then, I've distributed all the way down to about 6,500. Um, So out of the 90,000, out of the 100,000, there's 90,000 that are for sale at the value of 140 million dollars a piece, and there's 10,000 that I have in my possession that are at the same for sale at the same price, but I'm distributing those personally to founders. So out of the 90,000, 10,000, 10% of it is going out to be spread around.
Okay, great. Shay Reed said, watching the World Economy Summit USA stated they are making a digital dollar, so buy to cash paper. Are you familiar with that?
I think I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Is Biden just
Buy
signed
cash.
in?
Mhm.
Say what?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah, President Joe Biden signed in an executive order to do more research on cryptocurrency, on how to implement central United States central bank coin. So basically, to turn the U.S.
Wow.
dollar into a cryptocurrency in itself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ooh,
bro, there's no way the world is going to avoid going to cryptocurrency. It's here. Like it's
yo,
here. It's here.
America, wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. They're not playing no game. And they said, oh, yes, this can be the answer to Haiti's problem. Lead the government out. And that's every country, you know.
Absolutely, because once they get their paws on it, once they get their paws on it, they gonna use it how they want to use it, and tax it and do all kind of stuff with it that's not what we have in mind for it right now.
And Marvin Broussard is not happy
Oh
with
my
the
God, man! Let me tell you something, bro. This right here is facts. This is the new Haitian Revolution. Let me tell you something right quick, bro.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Man,
This is the new
the
Haitian
first
revolution.
it is, and it's no better place for this cryptocurrency to get a foothold in than Haiti, because honestly, I see Haiti as a beautiful country, a country with great history that a lot of times is overlooked because the white powers that be wanted Haiti to be on the bottom. They wanted to subdue Haiti. And so it would be great if this cryptocurrency could help rebuild Haiti, and Haiti could be like the country for black people in general. You know what I mean? Like the black Mecca. You know what I mean? It literally has that potential to be the black Mecca of the world. When this cryptocurrency first started, the Haitian Revolution could be the Haitian Revolution started the freedom of so many others and the people and black people in America. So it's only right, almost like full circle, that this will start in Haiti to revolutionize Haiti's function, rebuild Haiti, and make this basically like the place, the destination, the Mecca for African descendants of slaves in the New World. Basically be like the New York or the capital, of this new black nation. You know what I mean?
Or the Palace Sans Souci, the one that our great king Henry Christophe built along with the Citadel, which has been a
Mm-hmm.
great historic monument in Haiti,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of the times, you know. So
Yeah.
let's see. Cash App, Haiti's Future, support Haiti's Future, everybody. That's the school. We have a school that's for free, and your donations is what make it possible. Your donations is what help fund the teacher's salary. Your donations are what help fund the food budget. So thank you so much for everybody that support. Go out and go get your shirts, y'all. Go get your shirts. The shirts is here. So that
Boa,
way you can,
answer the question.
yes.
Okay, so Boa is a part of a broader term, as in Boa mi na me moamu, which means help me help you. It's an ancient West African principle of group cooperation and the old tribal way of living, the natural order of Earth. Everybody that's contributing should be taken care of. If you're contributing, you should be taken care of. So that's what that stands for. But also the acronym that I want to put in place for BOA, which is not like the official meaning of it, but BOA, Black Owned Assets.
Okay, so let's see. So they go your Gmail up there right now. We have your Gmail. That's it. I spelled it right.
Yep. Gmail.com. I don't know if they know the gmail.com.
Yeah, I put that Gmail. Let me see. So I
It
think we
said
have.
Gmail.
Okay, will you offer staking, my man?
There's capability for that as far as automated market makers. Um, that's not really like honestly that's kind of out of my realm of knowing about cryptocurrency as far as staking and automated market makers. Have to get more educated about that. It's not really the main direction, but it is possible for people that know how to do that. If you own the cryptocurrency, you can definitely stake and make money off of creating the market. That's not something
Wow,
I personally do or am really pushing right now, but it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible to make markets and stake. So
that's
basically, you would make money from all the transactions going on in the market just by putting a certain amount of stake into the liquidity pool. Liquidity pool. Yeah.
wow. That's that. I'm looking forward for everybody to do that.
Hmm.
Okay, they go to gmail.com, everybody.
Hmm.
So you can contact him and tell him that you watched the interview. Excuse me, and you want to become a founder and let's
Exactly.
distribute this wealth. Somebody said Fedcoin. Oh, no,
What's that?
no. So let's see. China used it already. They was first.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. China's currency is interesting because China is one of the first places to outlaw cryptocurrency, but their money is backed by cryptocurrency, literally. You know, and that's another thing too to look at. Um, okay, so this is another use case scenario. Like there's so many use case scenarios, and that's why it's important and founders are essential because there's so many use case scenarios that basically I can't think of every one of them. The creativity of having multiple minds and multiple brains on this at all times would be what this project needs to really fully advance. So one of the use case scenarios is say that a bank backed its currency. Say that the national bank backed its currency by cryptocurrency. Means that okay, now that you can establish a value, it means that you don't have to print more money. Your money just becomes worth more because there's the cryptocurrency backing it. Now you're able to take your cryptocurrency just like gold, the gold standard. It could be the crypto standards, and you can take the fiat currency, exchange it, and get the cryptocurrency onto a crypto wallet. You see, so this will actually make a currency much more valuable than a fiat currency that's not backed. A cryptocurrency, fiat currency backed by cryptocurrency is akin to to a currency backed by gold in 18 to 1700s. This is we live in an era that's like it's unprecedented where the internet is allowed. Like for us to be able to make um exactly the black mecca. That's literally the vision I feel like Haiti would be like. Because Haiti has
So
always
you
been.
take his position as the Black Mecca. Well said.
Yes, yes. That literally gave me chills, man. You know why? Because it's Ramadan right now. One, two. This will be the second time Mecca has been mentioned in this cryptocurrency sphere. Howard University is also known as the Black Mecca University. You know, and Mecca is definitely a very powerful type name and synergy. Going on, and being that it's that is Ramadan right now, and Mecca is coming up so frequently, it's time to to pay attention to that. And like what Mecca signified for the Islamic community is what this cryptocurrency and its partners could signify for African descendants of slaves. This is literally time for us to break free of the shackles of the dirty dollar. And when I say dirty dollar, literally the current currency that exists in all these countries are literally blood money. France is still sitting on the blood money that was extorted from Haiti. America's still using the blood money. They just gave Ukraine some blood money from slavery and
Mm,
extortion. Like it's crazy. You gonna take $6 billion and give it to Ukraine. Yeah, we've been sitting
mm.
here this whole time, and you can't find nothing but a raggedy maybe $1,400 check for the pandemic, and then also denying black people rights and stuff. We don't even have rights properly here yet. And you out here giving people $6 billion.
For real.
Now, Ukraine, they're in a bad position, and they could definitely use it. I'm not against Ukraine receiving help. Don't get me wrong, because they definitely need it. But that's literally putting their needs before ours. Like we have so much going on here in America that we could have used that money for. And we always crying broke, but yeah, we can find $1 billion to just send. When you would have took that, if they would have took $1 billion and dropped it in the ghettos of Southeast DC, it would have revolutionized, changed America, and built up everything out. You see what I'm saying? Like, but it's like they're afraid to put the money into our hands, so we're not asking them for it no more. There's
And
no
they're
more
giving out
action.
$6 billion to strangers and Americans who's been here that built this country and really has been victimized by what this country represent. That you can't even say, okay, I believe that the NAACP should get $10 billion to distribute between all black people,
Right.
or get a conference between all of historic black organizations that have been doing wonderful work in the community, come together, sit down, and find a way to distribute this.
Yeah.
Like, people found a way to get PPP loans, right?
Right.
They was able to find a way to give it to these big nonprofit organizations that's been back in the community to find a way to distribute back to the community. I believe it could have got done.
Mm-hmm. It definitely could have got done.
You would have seen a lot of crazy things being bought out there, though. People gonna act a fool.
But that's cool though. It's gonna boost the economy. If everybody went out and bought diamond necklaces, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I mean? Money being made.
But now we got to find a way. How can we keep this money within the community? That'd be the next powerful thing. To get all this money, how can we find a way to keep it in the community instead of going out buying diamond necklaces that take that money out the community? Now all the value that we had is now going down because all that money is leaving us and going back in their pockets. Now we got all these jewelries, we got these cars, and but
no niggas gonna get some cars.
But the jewelry do it do grows in profit over time, So and if you bought the right car, it grows too, So
That's true. But the thing that I would like to see happen is we distribute all of these we distribute a lot of these assets to historically black colleges and universities. It would be a beautiful thing if all the HBCUs got together and found out how we can distribute it to the youth or the graduates. You see what I'm saying? Like this would literally be the reparations. Like instead of leaving college with a debt, you leave with an asset. And that right. You leave with a
what does that cost them to do that? What does it cost them to be able to find a way to put that in a program where I believe we just come together as a people to just say, okay, let's support this. Let's support this agenda. It's not costing us nothing not to support it. Let's support it. This man is highly educated, highly skilled, and he did his research. And he has this initiative, and we need to support each other. Let's find a way. Okay, we have 10 billions of this. And 10 billion of this, we do a 15-year contract or a 10-year contract. In 10 years, we're going to distribute 10 billion of this. So our graduates, and this is how the wealth will be distributed. And then this donation right here, stay at this office, for this is go back to the school, this goes to the students, and I think that'll be a great initiative because now 10, 15 years down the line, this becomes an asset. This now it becomes wealth, And so if you still have all the rest of these Bitcoins or the rest of these cryptocurrencies, you could give them another 10 billion to the point now where it's distributed. You're not holding on to a trillion of it no more.
Right.
You whatever you have now is the wealth that you have.
Right.
So people speaking of being billionaires, this has the potential to really make them billionaires down the line. Depends on how they distribute the wealth. Or
Absolutely.
Just imagine what it's like to be a millionaire. If you have about $90,000 in the bank, or anywhere from the tens of thousands of dollars in the bank, you okay.
You okay?
If you have $100,000 in the bank or in those 6 digits, you're doing fine. If you have a 7-digit income in the bank, whoa,
that's generational. Starting to be generational.
When it comes to the tens of millions, it's like, okay, next level living. Hundreds of million is like, woo, and all of it is wealth.
Right.
So we just imagine how that can impact our lives.
Right.
When this become a currency, or when we push it for it to have the currency value. And I believe that happens when it's all equally distributed.
Hmm.
So then you have a big thing on your hand. You got to find a way to distribute this money, equally
Right.
distribute this money with people with
I
gainful.
would say I wouldn't go as far as saying being like equally distributed. I would say
Okay,
for
just
um
distribute.
just distribute it to
Okay,
the people, to the major people that's going to help unify the movement. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like this is how it can go wrong. If I gave someone a founder share who did nothing with it, like they just, okay, I got a founder share, I want to chill with it until it's worth anything. That's not helping. You see what I'm saying? It's
no,
just not helping. Like we don't need people chilling with it right now. We need people out here on the ground trying to find somebody to spend.
Yeah,
Look, we're trying to spend this.
yeah.
I'm trying to spend this. I'm out here trying. Literally, man, I'm telling you,
Movers and shakers.
moves
That's
and
trying to
shakers. You know what I'm
make
saying?
this an asset. Like,
Right,
okay, let
right.
me use this.
And those are the people who Halsey wanted in, because those are people who wanted to distribute it to the people who maybe not might not be so aggressive with starting it, maybe in the service starting it, but they can still benefit from the initiative in general. See what I'm saying? Um, but it would be nice to see everybody living nice from this currency. And I think that's the main goal. Is like, because when you say evenly, I wouldn't want to put people in the mindset or say that, like, okay, like, if I'm a doctor, then I'm gonna be making the same thing as, like, somebody who didn't get those credentials to be what I'm at. There's definitely a way to make more. You know what I mean? Like, there should always be a way to achieve more, but it also should be a safety net too. I feel like this is what creates that safety net. That safety net of everybody have quality living standards, not necessarily distributed, currency, but quality living standards. Is what we after right now. Quality living standards.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna distribute this among my viewers. They can contact you, but I'm gonna start distributing this to some of my viewers, y'all.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing the giveaways, and we gonna give it a value, because um, we have a free school in our hand. The kids, they don't pay nothing to come to school, and what makes it possible is the viewers, they donations, they
Mhm.
sponsoring a teacher's budget, sponsoring one teacher,
That's
sponsoring
amazing.
$100 towards this school budget per month.
Hmm.
So we don't see the currency; it goes directly into the school.
Right.
Let's find a way where we could say this school is sponsored by Bola.
Yeah.
Find a way to
Right.
implement that in it
Yeah.
by giving that value back to somebody. Like, okay,
Hmm.
this is real money that they spending, but every time they do this, they just get this amount of BOA,
Hmm.
of BOA
And that's
coin.
wealth. That's wealth you're giving back, because if they gave you $100 and you gave them $100 of BOA, that $100 of BOA might be 200 by the end of the month. You see what I'm saying? Because of the price that increases, or you can give them double the amount of real cash, fiat cash that they're giving. Say they give 100, you can give 200 in BOA, and that's something that they can hold on to. That's a good hold on position. If you're donating and being a contributor to something, yeah, hold on to it. You already done your part pretty much. Hold on to it until we make this thing real. And the donations and having a school funded by BOA is really, really one of the essential movements to the to getting the BOA established for the value that it's established at. And I just wanted to personally thank all the viewers who are watching. Thank you for supporting Haiti's Future Academy. Like, that's something that's so great, and I just feel honored to be able to be in a position to offer anything to be able to support Haiti's future. And it's amazing because Haiti's future is the youth. Haiti's future is the youth, and I believe that if implemented the right way, that this cryptocurrency could be Haiti's future as well. If this became massively adopted, became everybody's like, yeah, I gotta have this currency. You could literally start paying people wages in this currency, and not just paying people like minimum wage. You could pay people good, like American type wages, like $30,000-$40,000 a year. It would be nothing to pay somebody from BOA. You know what I mean? Like, pay them like what they should be paid, what the good standard is. You know what I mean? And that could be a thing. Like, people that work for this board group or work in this board group, they get they're making very high wages every year. They're living real good. Everybody gonna want to work for them there. You see what I'm saying? So it's a major vision. It's a major shift, and I feel like this is literally, to me, I know this is my way to financial freedom. I know it is. Whether I'm able to make $1 million off of this or not. But I honestly be like, I think $1 million very very obtainable to make off of this. And honestly, this is beyond money for me. This has a sentimental value to me, as in this is what is going to help restore the order in the world, restore the order of not being related to each other or not related to each other by race. You know, systemic race needs to be broken down. And the thing, we're not here to change prejudice. We literally don't care if you like black people or whatever, you know, but there should never be in place a system to systematically oppress a people, you know.
Wonderful, wonderful. So man, I thank you for your time, my brother. I'm looking forward to having you on here some more, man.
Yeah,
So
man.
telling people what we've been up to. So um anything else you would like to say for the people that's watching? You know, any last words, my brother?
I would just like to say to everybody that's watching, just tell everybody about this currency. That tell everybody that you can and that want to listen about what you heard tonight, and that's basically the way we're going to build the value for the currency. And also reach out to me. I'm available. Highly, I'm making myself available to establish these founders accounts. So just reach out and let's connect and communicate. No problem.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you and everybody. I'm giving out BOA, so I gotta get everybody on the wallet. Everybody gotta have this wallet.
Everybody got to have
I
the
gotta
wallet.
learn
The
this tech
wallet
game.
cost the wallet cost about 30 cents to fund. You remember when I sent you the two lumen, the two lumen? So it costs about 30 cents to
Uh-huh.
establish the wallet. And so the lumen you can get them from Coinbase or you can get it from Lobster themselves. I usually get my lumen from Coinbase because it's cheaper. On Lobster they make you about $30 at a time, and $30 worth of lumen is like so many lumen. You don't really need that many right now. So if you go buy like maybe $10 to $15 worth of lumen, that's like literally like enough lumen to establish probably like almost 100 accounts, something, you know. So yeah,
So looking forward to having you back on. I'm seeing right now I'm having some type of technical difficulties with my Wi-Fi, man, but it's been a pleasure learning about this. And we gotta have you back, my brother. We gotta have you
hey,
back.
I'm definitely available. Just let me know the word. I mean, I'm here. You know, it's enjoyable to me to talk with a like-minded individual, educated, powerful brother himself. You know, making moves happen. And I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everything you're doing. Honestly,
All right, man. And please share the movements with everybody. You know, show them that what we got going on in Haiti, and we are dedicated to something that's going to change stuff, something that's for us, something
yes.
that is by us. This is from us. We coming together and creating this movement.
Out of a
So,
shared experience, you know, out of a shared experience, and that's real.
all right, my brother. Thank you, everybody, for pressing the like button. Have a blessed, wonderful day. Or should I say good night?
Like, I don't know how to get off of here for real.